about the Greensward and the zoo and that controversy that has been simmering for quite some time. Mayor Jim Strickland stepped forward this week and he announced a resolution since the two sides were unable to reach an agreement in mediation. And Otis, you got to hand it to the mayor, I think, on this one. This is one of those times where, as a politician, you have to show some leadership.
And he did, absolutely. I mean, and he didn't take long to do it. I think he'd been working on this, obviously, because I didn't think that he thought that they were going to get an agreement. But once they failed to reach that agreement at that June 30th timeline, he stepped right in on Friday and basically made the Greensward supporters happy by saying eventually there will be no parking on the Greensward. Did not make the zoo happy because now they are saying that they are going to be the ones stuck with what they estimate to be a $3 million cost to reconfigure all the parking.
So they are adding some parking spaces, reconfiguring the current lot. There's this general services lot that was used by the general services department that is going to be committed to parking. And then they say they added some 200 spaces along North Parkway. So hopefully that is, but we're showing some video now of the situation, and it got kind of ugly there for a while. And I guess that's what happens. As someone told me, when you have two nonprofits going at each other, it can get kind of ugly. So the hope is that things have finally going to settle down. What do you think was the biggest challenge for the mayor, you guys, in having to try and make a proposal or reach some sort of resolution to this thing?
I think that, I don't know, it's such a polarizing issue. You have this enormous campaign spread throughout the entire city, for the Greensward, a lot of support behind it, but also the fact that the zoo is the #1 tourist attraction for the city. I mean, you can't please both.
There was a perception, and I got emails to this effect from folks who really felt that the zoo's ultimate goal was to take over Overton Park.
Oh, yes, I got a lot of that.
And I'm told that really the zoo doesn't have much more growth potential, that they've pretty much tapped into the total number of visitors that they can realistically expect, given the population area that they can draw from. There's not, I think they're at 1.3 million or something visitors a year. And even with the addition of new attractions, yes, they're going to want to keep it fresh, maybe replace older attractions with new ones, but not necessarily need to add more land because they pretty much reached their potential or the maximum amount of people that they can draw.
Yeah, well, from a political standpoint, I really don't think that the mayor had a lot of choice here politically. Because again, the Overton Park Conservancy, the Greenswood supporters, they're very vocal on this issue and they're politically active. So I think the mayor felt he had to listen a little bit to their concerns. I do think that he came up with a lot of different proposals that I think should be palatable for most people. Of course, the zoos, again, that cost is still staying out there. And the zoo is saying, well, Overton Park Conservancy is not going to come up with any money. We're going to be stuck with the money.
I'm interested to see what city council members have to say.
Exactly.
So they now must sign off on the proposal, which I doubt they're going to even tinker with it one bit because they don't want to get involved.
Well,
Nobody wants their hands.
Kim Conrad is already on record as saying he supports it. I think Worth Morgan supports it. So it'll be interesting to see what some of the other city council members, where they fall. I'm talking about people like Janice Fullylove and Joe Brown and some of the others. I'd like to see where they fall on this because really this issue has not been that much of a burning issue in some areas of Memphis.
No, it hasn't resonated with a lot of folks because they, I hear this argument a lot too. Don't we have a lot of other things to worry about as a community rather than whether people are parking on grass at the zoo? So anyway, the bottom line is at least we won't be doing a whole lot more in the way of news stories about the Greensward and the zoo dispute, right?
Thank goodness.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to talk to